Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope today's restful and productive for y'all. I shaved and I cut my hair, so we count that as a win. Um, I just became very tired, like about an hour before stream, and so I went to go lie down and try to get my face back on. Um, I'm looking at apparently somebody's doing um, Linkle mods for both Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good with this timeline in like a positive way. This is I'm here for this. Um, but yeah, thank you, Cat Wizard. Hi, everybody that's lurking. Um, Evo Japan is going on right now. Apparently, they have setups where Elena is playable, and I'm a little jealous. I admit it. I haven't gotten to see any actual footage of her because I don't follow FGC heads on my Blue Sky like I used to. So I haven't seen very much of it. I guess I could go look up some, right? But to just be, hopefully not. Yeah. But yeah, one of the things that I know also hi Shen. Yeah, but like one of the things that I think what's the word I'm looking for? One of the things I know I do admittedly have an issue with insofar as the way that people like to talk about, or that the way people talk about content in Street Fighter 6. Like, this is part of why the stream title is like FG News at 7 ... 30. I was making a joke about like, news broadcast stuff. And now here's the news at 7 stuff, But yeah, like the main issue that I have with people kind of like, and the way they talk about the way content releases in Street Fighter 6. Also, hi Cosmo. How are you doing? Hopefully well. It's good to see y'all. 2 at Love on Her Arms, still raising money for that. If you want to know more about the organization, exclamation point donate does the thing. I thought we'll run down a nice little link for you about that. You can scan the QR code over there. You can check out the panels down below, or you can hit whatever donation link shows up when you do donate or mouse. I am doing all right. One of those 3 days now. I am fetching food. Yeah. I made rice yesterday, so I don't have to order out as much. I did order Burger King today just to treat myself because I don't know. I felt like I deserved it. But yeah, you do deserve it, dude. I Alice's burgers. I usually get chicken fries from there. I don't eat, not because I don't, not because I have a thing about red meat, but I haven't had an actual burger from Burger King in a while. I never ate a lot of red meat growing up. Like, my mom would always make chicken and fish and other stuff like that. She wasn't super big on red meat. So by nature, I'm sort of not inclined to eat a lot of it. So I haven't had a burger from Burger King in a while. I'm doing good. I've been watching Expedition 33 streams only from certain people because people are making only things about the game instead of enjoying it. The thing I'm going to say very bluntly is that people, well, Shiny, you already know this. I think I've said this on stream before. But in case I haven't, this is especially pressing considering that I'm playing Tales of Vesperia, even though Tales of Vesperia is not turn-based. People are being really weird about Expedition 33 and going, this is the game that has revived turn-based games. And I'm like, you could just say that you have extremely small reference pools and, depending on the situation, probably have extremely reductive takes of Japanese RPGs. You could just say both of those things and go, because otherwise you'd understand that no, the genre has literally been fine and has been fine for forever. It's just that either you're too busy playing a bunch of AAA stuff and have never respected turn-based RPGs as a genre, or you are only willing to accept it when it comes from people who look like you. And there are a lot of things that you can talk about in terms of there are a lot of things that you can talk about in terms of there's specific kind of character tropes and things that are an issue that keep coming up in JRPGs, except this is also true of every medium everywhere. And I'm not saying that to excuse that, but to say that issues like that are much more deeply ingrained than just, oh, it's just Japanese being weird. No. Because I will put George fucking R.R. Martin in front of you and say, let's have a conversation then if this is how you want to be if you want to get into this dipshit. But I'm going to leave that there. I have extremely strong feelings about this, right? I have extremely strong feelings about this. So, because yes, we can talk about how there are complicated things around making child-coded immortal characters and all that other kind of stuff, right? But that's not just only JRPGs do this. No, JRPGs are not the only place where that happens, or anime is not the only place where that happens. This happens everywhere, and the conversation has to be larger than, oh, why are the Japanese being so weird about this? It's not just them. But, like I said, I don't want to get hyper deep into that, because I will literally just sit here and do whatever. Stubby, most people who are playing Expedition 33 and are enjoying it are minding their business and not being fucking weird about it. It's just a very specific subset of people who don't have very wide turn-based RPG literacy and or unexamined internalized racism, probably, that they don't get it. Anyway, like I said, that's getting really deep. So, and other, but as Shay, they're used to their culture's random uncomfortableness. Therefore, only other people's are truly weird. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Expedition 33 is excellent. I recommend the game. So the game allows you to make broken builds. It's fun. Yeah, it basically, what I'm going to say is that it's all entirely dependent on the intention of the developer, right? Where if the developers very specifically are we wanted to make an RPG where you don't, where your limits are much lower than other things, then what is a quote unquote broken build is completely legitimate by those standards, right? I haven't turned on the closed captioning, or I have, and it's not working correctly. Okay, come on. Hang on a second, I gotta see why this is being weird. Is this because of the voice modifier being on? I gotta see something. Because I don't know why, but the captioner is not working. That's weirding me out. Because I know y'all can hear me, because I can see that my microphone is doing the microphone thing. So the real question is why my microphone is getting picked up. Also, hi CJ, sorry, I forgot to say that. I just was looking at this and going, why is this not showing up? Okay. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. We're good now. So, right. Other news. I know y'all can't see the game yet. I'm fixing that right now. Other news. Apparently, there was a... apparently, there has been a leak of the Guilty Gear Strive source code. Which has caused some people to say that it is probably best if you avoid playing like random online like network play. So it's pretty likely that if I do pick up Strive again, until or unless I hear that somebody like dumped all the source code, Guilty Gear Strive. Okay, purportedly. I've only seen this on Reddit. I do not necessarily only trust one source. Do not necessarily trust only one source. When it comes to these sorts of things, for obvious reasons, they can't back up that the existence of this thing is a thing because, you know, Streisand effect, right? If you're like, it's one of those things where it's like, right, posting about it might lead to proliferation, blah blah blah. So there has been apparently a separate leak aside from the fact that like the source code was done, but I say all of this to say that if I play Strive on stream, probably at least until I hear different, just to do due diligence on the off chance that this isn't complete bullshit, it is highly likely that I will be limiting that to either closed rooms where I know who all is in it, or I may have other security precautions in place if I know for sure. 5 1 But aside from that, there's apparently been also another leak for the next season, maybe, and it could be Hopium. I'm not getting too deep into it because, like, you know, leaks can sometimes turn out to be not correct. But I guess slightly more pertinent than that, a thing I guess I was going to talk about for like half a second, then I got distracted by the other conversations that we were having. Yeah, sometimes people just say stuff. I'm gonna, just to be safe, I will probably avoid doing like power matches and stuff in Strive until I hear Arc System Works acknowledge, hey, there's been a thing and we fixed it or whatever, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the only other thing I guess that immediately comes to mind as far as fighting game news is give me a second. I'm just kind of refamiliarizing myself with the mechanic stuff. Hey, Raju. But yeah, the main plan for today for Street Fighter is that I want to derust with Cammy a bit. Oh yeah, I did. No, I forgot to do my go live also, so I'll do it. I appreciate you reminding me. I forgot to do my blue sky go live, so I'll do it. Thank you though. Speaking of games being cooked, even Dead Health cannot be cooked. I watched a playthrough of Metroid Dread is a really good game. I really like.
Intercept preparations. Complete.
Getting cold feet?
Okay. Are we winning? In a little bit. Or at least I hope to be in a little bit. Rather than playing like I've been doing for most of the past little while for Street Fighter 6, I'm in the mood to I'm in the mood to just de-rest my Cammy a bit and sort of get my feet out. Whoops, I forgot to need to make sure that this one doesn't. I don't want that to show up and like cause issues.
Intercept preparations.
Okay. I did this funny. I don't want to do double advertising. There, okay, that's good. And then I just need to do Jimmy Strams. Set this down. There we go. I don't want that one. Go away. Alright, cool. Metroid Dread's music is good. The story is cool and the gameplay looks cool. For years, I heard people say the game is blah, but I've seen playthrough. Yeah, like, no, Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread is quite literally, Metroid Dread is quite literally one of the best 2D Metroid. Specifically talking about like, because I know that there are people who are really fond of like Metroid Prime and stuff. I'm not super big on Metroid Prime, but it's not because I don't think those games are great. It's because I am not good at first-person shooters. First-person shooters are not my jam. Having played, I played Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Other M, Metroid Dread, right? And I play a little bit of Prime, right? But I played the majority of the mainline Metroid games. Metroid Dread is easily one of the best ones. There are people that I know have understandable issues with like the Emmy sections and things like that. But if I'm going to be real with you, I don't think I finished Prime 1 on stream. I think I made it through most of the other games and didn't finish Prime 1. I think, as I recall it. So yeah, I may not have. I was playing some of it. But I don't know if I finished it or not. But yeah, like for me, I'm not big on FPS games. I'm not big on FPS games, but that's not because I think the FPSs are bad. It's just because like it's not my jam. The way that I've described it to my cousin, because he asked about this with me at one point, I've mostly said that for me, it's that the spatial sort of like awareness that is required to play FPSs, my brain doesn't jive with that. I don't have a way of like spatially echolocating myself a lot of the times in first-person games, and so like whenever like a firefight is going on or whatever, I get overwhelmed really easily, and it's really hard for me to sort of like feel out what is going on and respond to threats correctly.
Here comes a new challenger.
So like the spatial parts of it don't sit right with me. I can do third-person shooters to an extent, because it's a little bit, the view is a little more pulled out, but it's a little hard still. But yeah, I'm derusting Cammy instead of playing Mai, just because it's been a while since I've gotten to like actually play Cammy on stream. Fair. Fortunately, this means I'm going to get like absolutely fucked up because I have to deal with like master rank players now, and your average master rank player is generally probably more solid a player than I am. I haven't been playing at master rank level consistently since getting master rank with Cammy. So a lot of my strategies for like actually trying to approach are way off. Headbutt is drive impact safe. The reason why headbutt is drive impact safe is because it's hella plus. Oh, whoop. Yeah. I've been learning to be installing Warframe. Yeah. But yeah, no, Metroid Dread is a really good Metroid game, and I enjoy it a lot. People tell you that Metroid Dread is bad. They are probably incredibly biased. And people are allowed people are like not allowed to like a video game, to be clear, right? Like there are people who love there are people who like love there are people who love like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't. Destiny out. I was so scared. I was so certain that a critical art was somewhere around the corner, that they were going to snatch me with the CA and I was going to lose all my health. Fighting Zangief is stressful and I hate it. But yeah, there are people who really like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I get it, but I don't like either of those games. They are too big for me as far as like what I like in a Zelda game. I would much rather something like Echoes of Wisdom or Link's Awakening or something like that. I don't like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom that much. They're not bad Zelda games, and they are Zelda games. Like no matter what people tell you, like they are Zelda games. It's just that. That's fair.
Get ready, fighters. Try
Also, thank you for the GGs. I appreciate it. But yeah, like, and you can sort of tell, probably if you've been watching the stream for a while, and this is like your first time seeing me like use cammy in matches consistently, you can probably sort of tell how like the quality of your opponent's very different. Yep. Okay. Yep. 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 Oh, Jesus. Some people gel with having a guiding rail, so people get lost without them. Yeah, and I could have, like, the main thing for me is that it's like, I don't mind, like, a little bit of, because, like, I'm playing 9 souls now, right? And, like, sure, there are parts where it's like, right, I have no idea where the fuck I'm going in 9 souls right now, and I have no clue what I'm doing. But, so, for me, it isn't even so much that it's, like, in my case, it's like, it's not even like the lack of rails necessarily. For me, when I think about it with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's that the world is too big for me. It feels too big, and it makes me anxious trying to figure out what I should be setting, what goals I should be putting down. Like, no, can't do that to me. Fair. Ah, fuck. Damn it. Yeah, and this is why, like, fighting against the Blanca, who knows what they're doing, is a pain in the ass. I've said this previously in situations where we fought Blanca before, but good ones, right? We'll do this shit. You see this shit? Like, Blanca players who actually, like, understand how to use Blanca will do this sort of thing. Yeah, CJ, I was talking about that earlier. I know that you were probably being a ghost person, so that's why you didn't hear it. But yeah, literally, I was talking about that before.
It's showtime! Face it straight!
Yeah, anyway. Hang on, sorry, y'all. I gotta put on like focus face for a second. I gotta figure out how to deal with this. could get annoyed and just try to like run Blanca down, but that has its own issues. No, why does this... Fuck. I hate Blanca so much. And characters. Like, Blanca as a character is a shithead. This does not... Okay, let me... I am salty. I'm gonna be real. I'm salty. This is me. I'm salty. I'm salty about it. It is explicitly not because, oh, Blanca's cheap or, oh, Blanca's this. It's just really agitating to fight a Blanca who understands... God damn it! It's just really agitating to fight against Blanca a lot of the time, because he is... If you're also wondering why every Blanca that we fight seems to use the same outfit, it's because I very deliberately made sure that any Blancas I fight are locked out of his outfit 3, because there was an issue with a costume that he had in Street Fighter 5 called the Blancatron outfit. It's very cute, but it obscures and obfuscates his limbs, and it makes it very difficult to read what exactly it is he's going to do next. So, on the off chance that there are any Blanca players who remember that and want to take advantage of it, I robbed them of that opportunity by locking them into his default, into his outfit 1, so they can't put on Blanca channel and fuck with me in terms of like the readability of his limbs. We're not doing that. I thought I was far enough away to avoid that. Yeah, then you can use that to activate it, yeah. Gremlin, I love Blanca. It's a person who plays Street Fighter. I hate Blanca. Yeah. Fuck.
Final round! Triumph or die!
I should have done the other one. I'm too smart. Yep. Jesus. Yeah, Blanca's a shithead character, and I hate fighting against him.
Blanca wins!
This is also why Mena RD, who is one of the best, probably one of the best Blanca players in the world, he basically, this playstyle that you see happening to me, this is how he plays Blanca, but with an even better understanding of like when to do the annoying bullshit that will catch people and when not to. he has he has an incredible understanding of like how to basically be a shithead Blanca player in all the ways that matter. Yeah. Well, yeah, Menardi's Blanca is like basically this playstyle that you see happen to me, except even more evolved. Essentially, like, it's just, I'm going to do as many things, I'm going to be all over you with like any side which way bullshit as much as I can, just to piss you off. And I also, if I remember correctly, Mena is from the Dominican Republic, so it's one of those things where it's like looking at this thing that says Dominicano, so I'm like, yeah, I get it. You're representing. Nah, fuck. So yeah, to a lot of people, then it's like Blanca's unstoppable, and it's like that's. The main thing is mostly that it's like, for all that it doesn't look like it, Blanca does have to like actually, for all that it may not seem that way, like Blanca does actually have to like, put a lot on the line for like a lot of the stuff that he wants to do. Yeah. A lot of it is like a lot of high risk, high reward sort of stuff with him. And that's the thing that a lot of Blanca players are very deliberate about trading on. They're like, I don't really give a shit about how much I have to risk if I can confuse you. Basically, most Blanca players are like, I don't really give a shit about how much I have to risk if I can confuse you and like piss you off enough to make you drop the fucking spaghetti, then that's good enough, right?
It's showtime. Face it straight.
In much the same way that like a lot of jury players are much more focused on like, they will do whatever like aggro crag bullshit that they can if they think that it will let them get ahead and they don't have to block. Yeah, fair. Ah, fuck. I might be dead here. Yeah, they had enough left to tank it out. This jury is a little bit less, like, wild and all over the place, though, which is nice. And this is why I was like, earlier I was saying that I have not actually fought, I probably have not actually fought at what I would call actual like master rank level in terms of like my quality of my personal play in like a while. I'm not gonna die, because this is critical art, but I'm not dead. I may be in burnout though. We have to see. Yeah. Nah, I'm sorry.
Judy wins.
If I'd done critical art instead, I would have gotten through that, but I didn't want to burn all that meter. And I probably wouldn't have thought of it if I'm being honest with you. Okay, yeah.
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
There we go.
Right.
Final round. Triumph or die.
Should have just done critical art when I had them splattered against the wall. Should have just done critical art when I had them splattered against the wall. Fuck me.
Judy wins.
I gotta hold that. So yeah, this is what I mean by, like, I have not been playing at, like, master rank. I didn't stay there, so there are ways in which my game has kind of, like, really fallen apart in certain aspects, and I'm not as sharp on the draw as I used to be.
Here comes a new challenger. Gotta do this. Come
Let's
on.
see.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
Yeah, it's fair. What? Did I not? I must have done the jumping normal
Get
throw.
ready, fighters.
Ah, I'm it's fine.
Too bad.
Wrong one. So, the main thing with Ken is that, when he does that kick into the little stomp kick, and at this point I should know that Kens at this particular MR are not going to do anything else but the safe one. Depending on which version of the move he uses to start with, it is usually drive impact safe.
You're in my way.
Yeah, like that one definitely was, because I can hear it's the same sound. It's the same sound clip that he's. Oh, there. No. Damn it. If I'd known that that wasn't gonna kill, I would have done EX dive kick into regular cannon spike or OD cannon spike, and that would have killed. That's fine. Nope. Back rising, I gotta check something. Because I noticed that whenever I back rise, I can't get my reversals out nearly as often when I back ride, supposed to like neutralizing. Nope, that's fine. Because we're still about even on, well, they have the slight drive advantage now, but... But they cracked that too early. Were it me in that situation, I wouldn't have gone for SA3 as a reversal option unless it would have killed. I would have preferred like ODDP or something, because with the type of game that like Street Fighter 6 is, you gotta have that. You gotta have that ready to go. Also, hi Sin. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say I haven't been like fighting at like master level for a long time, and I'm probably worse than a lot of the master rank players that have been consistently staying in there. My dive kicks are still a little bit off in spacing and things like that. Yeah. I was hoping I could catch when a drive impact was coming out and DI back, but couldn't quite. Hey, Jello LBT, it goes well. Yeah, I had just enough. I have a Street Fighter 6 question if that's okay. I mean, yeah, you can ask. It doesn't really bother me all that much. Ask if you want. Alright, I messed up my target combo. I'm asleep. Unfortunate for them that they didn't actually get the plus. So I'm basically choosing the fighting games out of all of them. I wasn't. I'm talking with okay. So, as a general thing, I'm gonna go back and talk more generally about fighting games to sort of like give you my perspective on the way that you should approach fighting games in general. If this is information you've heard from somebody else before or whatever, give me that. But this is the thing I kind of want to cover. Street Fighter 6 is at its core a game that mostly focuses on the ground approach, and to a certain degree it'll even out as you go up in the ranks, but a lot of what makes Street Fighter 6 intimidating is mostly dealing with like is mostly a lot of the system mechanic stuff, and that's not stuff that you have to worry about a lot when you're first getting started. But realistic, okay, let me actually back this up. I was gonna say the advice and then I skipped it like twice because my brain is out of fun. I'm going to go over here to the emphatic so it's a little bit easier for me to concentrate. In a general sense, I think that Street Fighter 6 is a perfectly good Street Fighter game to start with. If you are really intimidated by learning classic controls, you can start with modern. If that's the way that if you think that will help make it more approachable. My personal recommendation mostly is that even if modern seems a little scary, even if the classic controls seem a little scary, if you are looking to deeply understand the game at some point in the future, I think that classic will give you more control over your character in such a way that is more beneficial to you, and you have less weird things to unlearn when transitioning from modern to classic. That is my personal opinion. The new player experience, it's difficult to say for me. And I say that because I've been playing fighting games for, if I want to count seriously, when I started in undergrad, that is at least 10 plus years of fighting game experience that I've had playing seriously. And that includes a couple of Street Fighters under my belt. So I had, to a certain degree, some degree of competence already coming in. So for me, I can't honestly fully vouch for the new player experience. Cat Wizard can, because as she said, she started with Street Fighter 6 and it's still her favorite. The new player experience is, okay, if you're big into like FPS and competitive stuff, so basically this is going to be the thing, right? A lot of what's probably going to be new for you is, to a certain extent, probably. Somebody else who's better at FPSs can probably help translate this a little better in case I fuck something up. Street Fighter 6, I can say for a fact that in high school I could sometimes beat you while I was button mashing. Yeah. Street Fighter 6 as a whole, I think, rounds out a lot of the character movesets in ways that are very beneficial for people who are new to fighting games, because you can like press buttons and make stuff happen, and you have a lot more options on that front for pushing things forward. And the game is generally a lot less restrictive than previous Street Fighters have been in certain aspects, and in others, a little tighter tuned in terms of like, these are things that you can and cannot do. But the new player experience, now that the training tools especially have been much more developed, as you need to go look up and learn things, the basic training tools that the game gives you are very good as far as like training mode stuff goes. You have a very enclosed environment to do a lot of practice and get your feet under you in a lot of ways. Personally speaking, I recommend Keith. Damn it, there's an ad. Yeah, when ads are clear, I'll finish this thought. So I'm gonna pull up a couple matches while I wait for ads to clear, so that I can like properly finish talking to Jalal VT. Ooh. Ah, Jamie.
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
You're in my way.
This is our destiny. My secret art gets gone. This is my time.
KO! Jamie wins! It's showtime! Face it straight!
Okay, right. So the thing I was saying, the thing that I was saying to Jalal VT before ads came was that basically
You're in my way.
there are also a lot more resources to like learn how to play fighting games now than there used to be. So the new player experience, especially once you begin to get an actual understanding of like how to filter out what's what, it can be so here's the reason why I'm going to say that I get why you're intimidated. Because like a lot of what's going to wind up happening a lot with fighting games is that you're going to have to get used to, even if you're playing in modern mode in Street Fighter 6, you're going to have to get used to the fact that there are deliberately more constraints on the way that your character moves in a fighting game than there are in like an FPS, right? And that's on purpose. There are some fighting games that are a little bit less in this manner than Street Fighter 6 is, but Street Fighter 6 is very deliberate about the fact that like outside of like doing certain things with certain characters, your movement options are going to be a lot more constrained, and that's on purpose. It is not so much it is mostly so that you have to think more strategically about where you're positioning yourself, and well, not more. You have to think strategically about where you're positioning yourself and how far your buttons reach and things like that. But for example, right, I recommend Deep Gym. The original Reddit posts are still out and free if you know where to look for them. Fuck. And I recommend those as I recommend those as like a good place to sort of like learn the fundamentals of like, this is how you control your character, this is how you train specific things that will help you understand the way that your character works. I think the main thing I will say as far as the question of is it working, I think so. I like playing fighting games a lot. I enjoy, even when I'm like complaining about like getting my shit pushed in by Blanca doing Blanca things, I like fighting games a lot. I enjoy them a lot. There is a certain sort of excitement I get out of like the psychological aspects of it, because that's the other thing to sort of like keep in mind, right? Okay. I gotta lock in a little bit. I gotta lock in a little bit and see what all is going on here. Okay, that's plus. Really good Lee outfit. I think it's her outfit. I forget if it's her outfit 2 or her outfit 3. Yeah. Prove it. Show me your strength.
Lily wins.
So yeah, in short, sorry, those thoughts went all over the place, but that's how I feel about it. The new player experience, okay, one thing I will roll back a little bit on. If you decide to just go run into ranked cold as the first thing, you're going to have a terrible time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. It seems a little goofy on the face of it, but the World Tour mode does a very good job of giving you like a very, very soft introduction to the way that like Street Fighter 6 as a fighting game works. Puts you in situations where you have to like learn and test that stuff out. So if you're not like a lab monster where it's like, all right, I'll sit in training mode and just figure these things out, take some things to the streets and go from there, then I strongly recommend, if you would like something a little bit more flavorful in terms of like learning the basics of how the game works, play World Tour mode. World Tour mode spends a lot of time kind of telling you about like the basic operation of things, and then when you're dealing with like when you want to like learn the more complicated parts of like interacting with when you want to learn like the more complicated parts about like interacting with like real people and how they play the game, then you can look at like Deep's Gym and the wiki and stuff like that after. But I strongly recommend, especially if it's like, I haven't really been serious about fighting games before, I kind of want to get a better idea of how they work, start with World Tour first. Fuck.
Sacrifice yourself. Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
Party starter. Yeah, I'm dead. Or not. Whew.
No problems. Got to press on.
Final round! Triumph or die!
Also, thank you for that clip earlier, Sin. I saw that and I didn't remember it. But yeah, Jalal, I hope that that has given you a better idea of sort of like what to expect. I'm gonna put it like this. What you see happening to me right now is not necessarily the way that your fights are going to go. I want to emphasize that I am playing a character in rank that I spent a very long time getting up to the highest rank in this game, and that I have also not played at this particular ranking of game or particular ranking of the game and at this level for a very long time. So my decision making is kind of fucked up, and I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing with not good. Okay, I figured it out. A thing anyway. This Akuma likes to walk away, back away from me. So if I'm a little more careful about sneaking in lows on occasion, at certain distances, I might be able to pop them more often. Yep. Yep, party started. That double kick that Akuma does is a standing heavy kick. Basically speaking, if you block that, it's fun time for him. If you get hit by it, it's fun time for him. You have to duck it, or like, I think you can drive impact it and be fine. But if you don't duck the first hit, I'm not dead, but it's gonna hurt.
Akuma, win!
Yeah, I'm horribly rusty. That's such a cool critical art. Yeah, it is. It is.
A new challenger.
But yeah, the main reason why I wanted to come back to Cammy and like derust a little bit is because I haven't played her seriously and sustainedly for like a while, and I know that Elena coming out in June means that like that trend is very likely to continue. So I want to like really sit down and like revisit my roots. I like Mai, but I don't think I'm going to be playing Mai that much again once Elena comes out, because between between Mai, Elena, and Cammy, I much prefer either Elena or Cammy, realistically speaking. And it's not because Mai is bad. It's just a matter of like, if I'm thinking about characters that like I've been waiting for forever, Elena's up there. I waited too long for that. That's fine. I burned them out, and because that's plus, I have life advantage, so eating one Shoryu when they burn themselves out for that was not the worst thing. Fair. Ooh, yeah. It may seem like it was a bad idea for them to spend it this early, but the main reason why is that it gives them a drive advantage. And now I'm close to the corner and have to contend with the fact that like I gotta like basically yeah, like the reason why they yeah, I'm gonna be on the review at Mario Supreme part of this game. The only character yeah, if Sagat shows up, like for me at this point I'm like Sagat, Makoto, Akira. No, I don't know about Akira. Like Akira might be me absolutely coping. Same for Sakura, right? Nope. I'm gonna move to that. Oh, we can. Yep. Sakura's incredibly popular, so yeah. A lot of people. Oh, this is something I can talk about. A lot of people are really shitty because Elena's the current battle pass going on that that's going on for Elena right now has outfits for a lot of like third strike characters. Why'd you do that? Yeah, it's fair. That was a good spot to do that. Plus. It's gonna hurt. And it'll give them time to get back to full drive. But I still have the advantage. It's off. Oh right, I didn't even realize it's a modern player. This explains why the Shoryu replicas were coming out so quick. And also why I haven't been able to like jump on them at all. That's good. Fuck! If I hadn't dropped it, I would have gotten the kill. I dropped it. That's another thing. I don't know if Dalal VT is still here, but like the thing that you're gonna have to like really, if you don't already have it, with fighting games especially, you just gotta get used to sometimes going, I dropped that, and instead of going, oh, it's the controller's fault, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, sometimes you just gotta go, I fucked it up. You gotta kill your ego really fast in fighting. Kill the shit. Get rid of it. So this is something that it took me a very long time to like actually learn. And I know my sweet community beans that are here in the Gage gang will always talk about how I'm really positive when I play fighting games and all this other stuff, and I don't rage and I'm not salty and things like that. That was not like, that's a learned thing. I had to teach myself that. And that is a thing that, especially if you are just starting out in fighting games, you will have to start making a strategy for how to teach yourself how to let go of some shit. Because there are going to be times where it's like, yeah, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that other stuff, right? And if you get too absorbed in the fact that it's like, oh, well, I could have done this if it wasn't for this or if it wasn't for that, like, that shit's a distraction. It distracts from the very essential work that is, like, no, you have things that you just have to improve on as a player. And you're gonna, and even as you get better at them, there are gonna be times where you just drop shit. It happens. You fuck up a combo, it happens. Your brain was out to lunch and you forgot something, it happens. Right? You have to learn how to let that shit go early. Right, and nah, I got hit. Yeah, that's my fault. Fighting games offer no other culprit but yourself when you fail, and some people are hard combat. Yeah, like sometimes you just fucked up. And that's not even to say that, oh, because you fucked up, that means you're a fuck up and you're horrible. No, that's not what I'm talking about, right? And the reason why I'm making that distinction is because a lot of people have a really hard time associating the idea that it's okay to, that like failing at something is a natural part of learning how to do it. Like very strictly, like specifically, right? Like right now, right? You could very rightly say that I have more or less tanked my master rank, right? But part of this is also that, like, from these matches, I'm beginning to get a better understanding of, like, where I've begun to fall apart on my game. Like, I've gotten too used to, like, being really aggro and not actually, like, taking a second to, like, really assess the things that I'm doing, right, with my game plan. Really thinking about, like, how I want to approach and things like that. I have fallen apart on a lot of that because I haven't had to flex those muscles in a while. Because I've been playing a lot of players that are like Diamond 4, Diamond 5. And I've been out of master rank for a while. And then even not discounting that, whoops. Right? I just haven't had a very broad variety of opponents to fight against, so I've been used to, like, doing bullshit that I shouldn't be doing and getting away with it. So a large part of, like, what's going to get me back into shape now is going to be, like, I gotta sit down and really get reused to, like, learning how to re-hold my ground without, like, having to, like, feel the need to, like, push really hard on getting back in at people and things like that, because it's very easy. I've gotten used to being able to, like, kind of do that with impunity. That's fair. Yeah, it's plus, but they're burned out, so. Okay, yeah, they were looking for that. That's fine. So the main things that I know not to jump, because as a modern Aki player, Aki has much better odds of being able to like misjudge the distance by just you know. So yeah, some of this is that I also need to like, I gotta really sit down and reassess a lot of my approach strategies. Aki at some point just with fun, and by fun I mean, yeah, once you understand, like, especially how to, like, put people in positions where, like, you have the opportunity to apply poison pressure and things like that, yes, Aki is incredibly annoying. Unfortunate. Simply pushing it. Hold on, I'll catch up with some of these in a minute. Nah, I but I'll hold that. I'm listening to the Expedition 33 OST in the background, and it still amazes me how a game like Expedition 33 exists in this time. One of the things that they don't talk about is that I know a lot of what they talk about in Expedition 33 is that, and this is not me gainsaying the tremendous amount of effort that it took for them to still put this game together. But these were all, at least as I understand it, a big part of why Expedition 33 was able to come together was largely that a lot of the people that are working on it are at least like, I would say, mid-level talent. Not in terms of like, oh, you know, they're mediocre, but like, no. Like, if you're talking about in the terms of like the arc of a professional career, they're like people who have been around in the industry for a while, but maybe not have like had like opportunities to work on like, they've worked maybe on other games on this like as like entry or mid-level programmers or what have you. But these are people that have like been in industry for a little bit, but just have not had like anything like seriously big pop off for them, right? So a lot of like the fact that the game came together the way that it did is also a testament to like that work that they've been doing in the background. No, fuck, I fucked it up. I love the game changes killer, but yeah.
Ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
I'm speaking too much. And people are counting me on that. Oh, like, right, flicks a projectile, fuck me. That's terrifying. I'm dead. But it's good to know that like Flicker is a projectile, which means that like Ed can use that as a set against most super art ones. Because most super art ones are not invulnerable to projectiles. Ooh, unfortunate. Fuck. Yeah.
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
Alright, so where is my break? I've got a lot of ways to do stuff, yeah. Nope, they were expecting that. They don't drop this until. Yeah, I was about to say just like literally do that and hit that safety and I'm dead. Yeah, I'm sloppy. I'm just sloppy right now. I'm just sloppy as shit right now, and that's just kind of what it is. some of this is because I've been playing Mai for a while, and the other part of it is just that, like, quite literally, I have to go back and work on things like anti-airing and all that other stuff.
The top player is here.
No mercy for you.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
They also don't sexualize this, you know, in games, a big win. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I could have punished that, but I wasn't. Okay, so this person is not... I think this person is not willing to do, like, OD arrow kick unless... like, on wake up, unless they happen to be at the disadvantage. No! Cut that shit out. There we go. Yeah, I think maybe this person might be willing to do more OD arrow kick on knockdown now that I kind of like push the advantage like this, but yeah, you're not safe enough for that. Yeah, there we go.
Cammy wins.
There we go. So yeah, the thing about Jamie is that every round, Jamie starts off with no drinks in his tank, which means that he does like, I want to say like either 80 or 90% damage, which is, in other words, he does less damage with less drinks in him. Once he hits 2, his damage scaling is back to normal. Once he hits 3, it goes a little bit higher up. Once it's at 4, he does way more afterward. Also, every drink will give him either a new move, like either give him a new command move or a new special move, depending. And so what happens is that he becomes, Jamie basically becomes intensely more obnoxious the more drinks he has. He also has like a natural drive, impact pressure with his standing HP because you all saw it does 3 hits in very rapid succession. And then at 4 drinks, if Jamie reaches 4 drinks, then the match is not over, but you'll get your shit pushed. Jamie at 4 drinks basically does vastly increased damage. He has all his moves unlocked. He's just generally a pain in the ass to deal with. No.
wings.
This should kill. Ooh, jeez.
Cammy wins.
Technically, the spiral arrow into critical art cancel is not optimal damage, but it's easier to buffer the input and make sure that I don't drop it and get fucking murdered. Oh no, it's Bison. Shit. Oh god, it's Bison. Okay. I hate this character so much. Fuck. Okay. To break it down for people who don't play this game, Bison is a very slow character, but is really good at laying down pressure with like double knee and head stomp and a bunch of other stuff that he has that he can do. So like basically the main thing is that Bison defensively does not have a lot going. So well, like aside from like using knee press nightmare or other stuff, like
See now the difference in our power.
like Bison doesn't have ways of like getting out of pressure if you can set it up. Aside from like either using super, like he either has to use a super or like depend on system mechanics to help him with that. But yeah, some people have complained about the fact that like Bison revived because it's one of those things where people are like, yeah, but he died in Street Fighter 5, like this should have been the end of him, and he wasn't in Street Fighter 3, and Street Fighter 6 is after Street Fighter 3, and they're pandering because World Warriors is still here, and I'm just like, part of the reason why I look so unimpressed by it is because like basically literally the last time that Capcom did try to give you something different, like the last time Capcom tried to give you something so different the way that people claimed that they wanted, like this is my thing, I'm dead. So like here's the reason why most of the time like I get annoyed at people who complain about that kind of thing. Street Fighter 3 was literally Capcom saying, okay, let's completely overhaul the roster, right? We'll give you a new set of characters, a new slate, this is the future, this is the new generation, all that other stuff. And at least at the time, contemporarily, people hated that. That said, what I am going to say is that, like, if you want characters dying to mean something, fighting games are not the genre to look at. They're not. So if you're wondering why, like, in particular, the thing I'm going to say is that, like, with Street Fighter in particular, in specific consequence of people being shitheads and they just can't live with like basically literally it's a situation of we tried that and y'all wouldn't quit giving a shit about it, and so we're going back to this. So it is literally everybody else's fault.
Get ready, fighters.
Because like I hear you, Juno. I understand, but it's like it's literally everybody else's fault. I want dying to mean something. Can't do that in fighting games now because people could not handle that. They can't. Because like even Blaze Blue tried this at some point, right? Like Blaze Blue was like, okay, the final boss of the first game is New 13. He died at the end of Calamity Trigger, right? Like it's a done deal, right? And they replaced her with Lambda 11, and they did that for like a hot minute. But there are some people who could not let go of the fact that like, well, we don't have New 13 anymore. Lambda's just such a version of New. They couldn't let it go. They could not let it go. And so at some point, a lot of this is literally just like the ingrained. People can't let and can't allow different to happen, which is why we keep doing this. I hate to be mean, but stuff like that is why I don't get upset when game devs say they don't listen to all feedback, because when some game devs do try something different, people complain. Another thing to blame the gamers for. Yeah. Lambda is also called Lamb Chop because there's a severely chopped up compared to New. Moo is a different character. Moo is a different character. Moo 12 is a different character. New 13 is a different character from Lambda 11. Yes, I know, it's weird. It's blazing. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is that it's the gamer's fault. Like, why doesn't that mean anything in fighting games? It's because gamers can't let go. It did in fact mean New. Fair. But yeah, and there was even like a lore reason for why Lambda's kit was so different, which is that it's like, okay, sure, we were able to recycle like New 13 Soul, but like Lambda was one of her other like sister prototypes, so it's like her body's not as strong, her armaments aren't as good, etc. Right?
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
But you know, people couldn't handle that. So yeah, like a lot of people are like, yeah, like, oh, it's just without like, oh, like, so like a lot of people will complain about like, right, this sort of ties into the battle passing I was talking about, right? There are a lot of people who are like, so a lot of the Third Strike characters, not all of them, but there are a lot of Third Strike characters who are in the current battle pass as like avatar outfits for Elena's battle pass, or her pre-release battle pass, and people are like really agitated about that because they're like, Capcom doesn't care about what the fans want. We're sitting here making these shitty costumes of characters that we might actually want in this game and all of that, and I'm like, none of this precludes them from like still putting these characters into the game if they feel like it, first of all. I'm dead now because of this. Nothing precludes them from putting like Q or Oro or Remy into this game if they feel like it, right? And even then, for all the people like, we really want these characters back, it's like, keep in mind, like the last time that these characters were in a game, the reception that those characters got was not great, right? And with capitalism having done what it's done to like, you know, the thing that we live in, are you really going to be absolutely that upset with the devs for like being like, listen, there are characters who are like, we're not really sure if we want to like put all of our eggs in one basket and bringing them back because that's money that we have to spend on development for this character, for this or that character, for that or that character. And is it possible that like the people who really wanted that character back will be happy? Right? Yeah, of course. Right? Like, of course it's popular, but like, a lot of people let nostalgia win every time it's on media and scholarship. Yeah, that's why I'm hopeful about Sagat. He's not only popular, but he's also been in a lot of games to be good. Yeah. Like, I am an extremely mediocre Sagat player, and I am absolutely here for like Sagat to come back or Sakura to come back. I'm here for it, but I also accept that like that may not be the case, right? I may not be so fortunate. And it's just one of those things that I've like come to accept. That like sometimes you don't always get back what you want.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
And I'm okay. But there are a lot of people who aren't, and that's why we're sort of in this situation, like I said. Right? So that's why like people who are complaining about like so like that's why like I understand why people who like I really want you to come back. I really want Remy to come back. I really want Oro to come back. Because at least of those three characters, Oro was in Street Fighter V. So I get why they want him back for Street Fighter 6, right? Like, I get it. And I get why it's like, oh, they just made some avatar outfit for him instead of, like, actually just putting in the dev resources to bring him back. And it's like, again, I am not necessarily out here caping for, like, big Capcom and big capitalism. I'm not. But, like, the realities of making a video game in this day and in this age, it's all about like there are priorities and things to balance. Like there are communities that I hang out in. I've had this conversation before. I'm sorry, we've come back to this again. There are a lot of like places that I hang out in where like a lot of the refrain in one of the places I'm in is like, yeah, famous indie company Square Enix has like a way of like taking the piss out of people who are like, well, you know, Square Enix is a company and they have to like manage all these things and blah blah blah. They're like, yeah, but Square Enix has the money and they have the resources. Like, yeah, but you have to understand that. Again, not that I'm out here caping for big capitalism. I'm not. Like, people who have been here, they know. Like, I'm not about that necessarily, right? Like, I'm not trying to show capital, but like the realities of materially making video games and what that involves, the compromises that are involved in designing this thing and trying to sort this thing out, like they're more complex than people will give it credit for, even at studios where ostensibly they should have all the money to do whatever they want. It's more complicated than that. It always has been. A little bit of nostalgia is not a bad thing at all. The problem comes when you're so focused on nostalgia you don't accept anything new or different. Yeah. And it is okay to sometimes just go, this thing is not for me. Right? Like, this is why when I said I don't like Breath of the Wild and I don't like Tears of the Kingdom, I didn't say that means that they should stop making Zelda games that are like that. I didn't say that. Because I understand that there are people who enjoy those games and the promises of what those games offer. I am not one of those people. It does not mean that those games are inherently worse or that Nintendo should be beholden to making games that are only in the style of like Ocarina of Time forever and ever. No, they're not beholden to that. Like, if only everybody could think about it the way you do. Yeah, it's one of those things where like, this has been a position that I've kind of like grown into as I've grown older, right? Especially as like, yeah. And there are a lot of goofy things about like Final Fantasy 16's development, for example, that like I have like a feeling about in a way about, right? But I'm not going to say that like, oh, if you like Final Fantasy 16, you just enjoy like blah blah racist pap. No, I'm not going to say that necessarily. I'm just like, no, like Final Fantasy 16 doesn't really interest me. If I wanted to play like an action game that like had RPG elements in it, I'll play a Telltale game, right? That doesn't mean that like It doesn't mean that Square Enix doesn't have the right to like experiment with their style and what they want to do with these games. But I also feel like it becomes a question of, when I look at like Final Fantasy 16, for example, I look at it from the perspective of, right, they want it to reach a broader audience or whatever, right? But the thing is that, like, at least from my perspective, I look at it from the angle of, okay, I get that, but I want y'all to think very carefully about, like, the motivations behind why you want to do this thing, right? That for me is my perspective on the whole thing with, if SA3 had come out, I would have won that. It's fine. I fucked up the input. I wanted Super Art 3 to come out, and I would have broken through the Super here and gotten the kill. Or I would have broken the Diamond Attack even and gotten the kill, but I messed it up. It's fine. That's my fault. I didn't do the input. But yeah, so like, that's my thing, right? Me hearing the Final Fantasy, or hearing rumbles that the main impetus behind the way that Final Fantasy 16 being designed, the way that it was like, we want broader appeal, right? That kind of thing I tend to look more skeptically on, mostly because it depends on what you mean by broader appeal. Because the thing is that you're not going to make a game that everybody is going to like. So you should lean into the things that make your game what it is, and not necessarily try to make something that everybody is going to enjoy. You're not going to be able to do that. That's not the way. If we're being more broad, any kind of creative endeavor basically is under this same sort of thing, right? You are not going to make something that appeals to everyone. And you should accept that, and the sooner that you accept that, the sooner that it gives you, like, the sooner it gives you the space to, like, you know, actually sort of pursue the thing that will bring you the actual crowd that will appreciate the thing that you're trying to do. Right? So that's my perspective on that whole thing. But yeah, that's why I was like, no, Final Fantasy 16 not for me in that sense. If I really want like an action RPG, I'm not gonna play. I'll either play like. So here's an example of sort of like the thing I mean about like this, like kind of like making the thing that you're interested in. A lot of people give Stranger of Paradise a lot of shit, right? A lot of people give Stranger of Paradise a lot of shit, but that game is Stranger of Paradise, meaning Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is what I'm talking about, right? A lot of people give that game a lot of shit because it's weird and it's really goofy, and like the main character is basically like doing what feels like isekai protagonist bullshit in the most irreverent way. But Stranger of Paradise is very upfront about like the fact that it is going to be weird and a little silly and all this other shit, right? And because it owns that, right? Because it owns that and it's not ashamed of that, right? Like, Stranger of Paradise is just going to be a Stranger of Paradise ass game, and it's not ashamed of that. And the end result of that is that, like, as a game itself, it is much more memorable. And I think that's, like, the important thing. I'm agreed, I'm a 16 hater, but even I found something that I like about the game. Yeah. So it's all about, and this is not, yeah, Stranger of Paradise sounds good, and take itself too serious. Exactly. And it's not even to say that it's, like, wrong to have games that, like, take themselves seriously. There's room for all sorts of these kinds of things, right? Also, Jack is really funny. I think Jack is also very funny. We know what. Yeah, no, like Jack is like not ashamed of who he is at all. Like Jack will just do shit, and that's funny. There we go. But yeah, like going back to that original point that I was saying when Rigel was like, I wish other people would think about it the way you do. It's literally just me having come to terms with the fact that it's like, yeah, some games are not my bag. And that's okay, right? Some games are not my bag. That's the way that it is. The world is not any lesser for certain games not having been made for me, right? And that's fine. Damn it! I wasn't expecting Wake Up Oicho throw. I was expecting like Wake Up Super, and that's why I dashed into block. Got the third set. Sorry. Yeah, that gives you back some drive meter and some health disadvantage and plus one. Alright, yeah, that's great. I got it. So yeah, also when people say things like modern and Street Fighter is like not really like, it's not really viable, blah blah blah, they're full of shit. While there are certain tools that like using modern controls will make more difficult to use with specific characters, right? That is absolutely a thing that happens. But there are other things that you can leverage with modern that also make other things a little easier. It's just a matter of like how you want to do it. Like case in point, right? Like jumping at modern players is usually a bad idea if they're playing a character that has like a DP, because they can do a DP very quickly and very easily without it getting auto-corrected. Doesn't mean that you can't jump on them, it means you have to do it less. And against a classic player who's about as against an experience in a classic player, it's pretty much the same experience, right? So people are walking away from me to try to like avoid the dive kick, and I think I gotta start tapping the toes for that if I can manage it. wide gap there. I fucked it up. Yeah, they didn't have enough in the tank to push that. And I respect that they tried, but that wasn't gonna happen.
It's showtime! Face it straight!
I pressed like light. I pressed like a light or a medium button to hit into that. Nah, fuck. Too long.
This is my chance.
Okay.
Get
I'm
ready, fighters!
getting a little too loose. A little too cocky. Yeah, I don't even need to spin knuckle pass for it. If I take shorter steps in, I should be able to like push my way a little. Ooh. Nah, damn, they know it. They know it. They know the trick. They know it. I wasn't sure, but they know. That's my fault. If I tried to be a little bit less clever on that, I might have been able to make that work. But I fucked that up. Okay. I guess Kane brings up a good point.
It's showtime! Face it straight!
So, like, I followed Kayan, like the person who did like I Want to Be the Guy Kayan, on Blue Sky, and they were saying that technically speaking, the odds of somebody using like the Strive security leak to specifically like target you is pretty low, right? Insofar as like, oh yeah, like, is it necessarily that like there are a bunch of people on Strive that could be doing a bunch of this stuff to like you know, to like fuck you up and they've just been waiting for this chance, blah blah blah. Yeah, like the odds are technically like not super high, right? That's not wrong necessarily, that the odds aren't high, but I also get why people would feel a type of way about like, right, I don't want to risk it, you know? So it's probably safe. Oh, I had to like lock in for half a second to get this combo. I had to lock in for half a second just to get that combo to work.
Cammy wins.
But like, yeah. So I guess that it's probably theoretically safe. Oh, they added Terry's CVS 2 art from Kinu as a portrait. That's pretty sick, actually. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's really good. Okay, the power charge just makes it ground, I think. Good throw. Good throw. Okay,
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
that's plus. There we go. I also need to start like doing that more often. Yep. Good tackle. Yeah, I saw what they were trying to do there, but you can't do that like that. You gotta use I don't remember I don't remember the combo that they used to lead up for that, but they needed a different version of crack shoot. Whatever crack shoot they used didn't bring them close enough. If I was DJ, that probably would have worked, but it's okay. Yeah, quick burn. Yeah. I feel like you might be able to switch blocks for quick burn, but I also don't know if you just have to block quick burn high on the first hit to avoid getting stuck. Stuck on the second hit. That's something I never bothered to lab out, and I should. Oh wow. That almost never happens. Basically, if you drive impact somebody and they drive impact at the same time, that's what happens. Neutral out. That was plus. Okay, you can, in fact, stand up between the hits of quick. I was like, there's no... in my head, I was like, it would be kind of really whack if you couldn't stand up between the two hits of quick burn. Crack shoot can also work as an anti-air if you time it correctly because of where the hitboxes show up for it. The hitboxes start kind of high up, so if you're very careful about it, it does actually work as an anti-air. Your movements and decision making are sharp. What kind of agent were you again? That's being nosy.
Here comes a new challenger.
Let's see. How much longer do I feel like going? I think now I'm just finally waking up. Mostly.
Beginning operation.
Because at first I was like, I'm tired. I know it's weird, despite the fact that I've been probably playing worse as we've been going along, to say that I'm more awake now. But it feels that way. Yep. Oh, hey, I fought the Shamey earlier tonight. I recognized the name after looking, like, oh, I fought the Shamey earlier tonight. He's the one that likes to, like, really prioritize getting drinks. Yeah, it's just not safe. No. Yeah, I'd imagine. If you'd done OD arrow kick, you would have got me off you. Shame. Now I'm dead. If I hadn't taken another hit, earlier, I could have. That drive attack would have killed that Jamie, but I wouldn't have known that drive impact was coming when I got hit earlier, but it didn't help. That's what I'm saying. I respect it that they tried it that time, but they were trying to make it so I would have to wake up into that drive impact, and then I would have basically eaten a bunch of shit at that point. But unfortunately for them, I was just out of the way. Okay, right, I can't actually... Okay. That's interesting. They're matching... They're matching standing heavy punch. should have punished that SA3 way cleaner than that. That should have been like a done deal at that point. But I waited and I hesitated too hard.
No problem.
Get ready, fighters.
So yeah, Jamie getting to drink level 4 does not automatically mean that he wins, right? Like with anything else, it's just a question of like... Nope. Why'd you try that? I know why they tried that. It's because I was in burnout and they thought that they'd catch me. I respect it. But like, nah. I got over their head and that wasn't happening. Basically, I need to be like doing this stuff more often. And a lot of my footsies and checking, I need to be getting more used to using my light buttons again. For a long time, I have not had to like actually really... I wasn't doing it a lot with my, so I'm out of the habit of doing it in general, and that is causing me problems. Gotta lean on my other buttons a bit more. Fair. Ooh. Right. Solar plexus is really gross. Yes! Woo! Yeah, baby! That's a bus. I need to stop doing that.
Cammy wins.
Alright. There we go. I'm waking up a little bit again now. Part of this is also that a lot of it is that I gotta like... A lot of it is that like a lot of the smaller exchanges, also I gotta get a little bit less like... I need to also stop doing that so much. I have to like basically retrain the way that I do like ground approaches. Because a lot of it is still, at least right now, I know I'm probably shaking some of it as like the way that like Mai would approach a lot of this. And Mai has different options for this sort of thing because her buttons are longer than Cammy's. Their speed might be about comparable move-wise, though I think Cammy might be a little faster. I have to double-check the wiki to see. But, like, also, Mai just has longer buttons. I get why. It'll bring them back more drive. It'll equalize us for drive or put me at a disadvantage. And I took a bunch of damage. Alright. Thanks for the alert. Good luck at the grocery store. Yep, you shouldn't have done that. You made me burn my meter for it, and I admit it. But they shouldn't have done that. Do not throw... I admit that I had to use all my meter for that, so it's not ideal. But don't... The thing that you should not do against Cammy, if she has enough meter for Super Art 3, do not throw a fireball. Don't do it. This Ryu's good though. This Ryu's good. Like, I would have had a hard time coming back all the way. Because they don't do a thing that a lot of other Ryus do where they like hop around a lot and do a lot of other stuff. This is a Ryu who sort of understands like how you play Ryu, which is a very like kind of give and make space sort of way of playing him. And the reason why you want to do that as Ryu is because like he's Ryu. He has incredible defensive tools, right, that allow him to like really like push people back. And then he puts out the damage to comp. So, like, you don't have, with Ryu, you do not have to play a game where you are falling all over people. And a lot of, like, especially in, like, lower ranks, this is a mistake a lot of Ryu players make, where they're very intent on, like, I'm gonna grass hop all over the place, and it just won't calm down. Just chill. Like, it's not that deep. Not sure if the Tatsu is supposed to be something else or not, but okay. This is the way I gotta get back to. This is the fighting style I'm looking to sort of get back to. Where like a lot of it is just like I gotta just play more solid on the ground. And just like catch people slipping in little ways. This is the way that I want to get back to playing Cammy, ideally. Knuckle. There's a famous player known as Knuckle Dude. So this person has basically just like reversed the two letters. I'll give you that. Knuckle. I believe Knuckle Dude's also a Guile player, so that's what makes this extra funny. Double new. You know, sometimes fighting game players are alright. Sometimes this shit is not as scuffed as we think it might be. No. Okay, that's not plus enough. Cool. That's that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I wasn't sure if they were going to do that, and I maybe should have held up a little bit, but I was pressing the advantage too hard. Yep. Gotcha. Give me that neck. I messed up the combo, but it's fine. Buried them.
Cammy wins.
I want to grab.
It's showtime.
I'm gonna grab that clip for later. That clip is very important. Yeah, they did on purpose. I was too thirsty for that. So, the thing about fighting against him, for people who don't really know, the thing about fighting against him is that a lot of the times, all you really need to do to make Spin Knuckle a non-factor is to walk back a little bit. Granted, like, if the cammy knows that you know how to deal with Spin Knuckle, the thing that they will more than likely do is just walk back a little bit, so that, or if they understand that you know how to deal with Spin Knuckle, then the thing that they'll, I might die here. Yeah, I'm dead. If the cammy knows that you know how to deal with Spin Knuckle, they will start using the other strengths of it to stop short, so that you can't capitalize on and punish them the way that you want to. But if you're like, I don't know how to deal with cammy, do Spin Knuckle with me all the time, walk back. If you're not already in the corner, you don't have to walk super far back, even if it's just like a little bit. Like, you see how this Ryu is kind of like moving the way that they're moving? It's the forced Spin Knuckle to like miss space. So like, I can't approach using it. And that's sort of like how you deal with Spin, which is why I need to stop using it as an approach option here, because if Ryu is not being put. Yeah, like they're not throwing fireballs, so I need to stop using it. And that's why Ryu's really like hard to do, because you know
Ryu wins.
what happens is that like he'll do this shit and then you die a lot and it hurts. He kind of just puts his fist in your face and you die very quickly. Okay.
Here comes a new challenger.
That said, if you're in the Gilded and you make clips, do make sure to like drop them off in the appropriate channel in the Gilded. That is appreciated. I appreciate that. Please do that.
It's
Because
showtime.
I'm not going to remember to go do them later. Oh, hey, it's the Ryu that plays Ryu that I fought earlier that actually throws a lot more fireballs. Okay. Yeah, now they are playing a little reckless though. Yeah, Dragon Ryu is back. They are playing a little reckless though. A little more, but I'm also a little bit less. I think I'm a little less sharp than I was when I was fighting them earlier, so it kind of evens out. I gotta be careful of those shots, because they will become very predictable. Oh, why'd you do that?
This is my chance.
Yeah, I'm playing worse, so that evens it out. I'm playing worse. They're playing looser and I'm playing worse, so it's a little more even. You gotta tighten up a little. Just a quick shit. Thank you, Sen. Yeah, I'm cooked. That's it, I'm cooked. I gotta hold that. That's fine.
Ryu wins.
So the reason why we're going longer than I normally do is also because I started later. But I still want to get in the solid 3 hours, even though it means I'm like in about an hour and change later.
Here comes a new challenger.
Beginning operation.
Don't expect me to be a pushover.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
That's fair. Ooh, that was a good backstep.
You're in my way.
There we go.
Right.
I'm doing a better job with like giving and taking the space, and that's helping now. Good reset. And I immediately started losing the space control war. I don't give. It's mostly to do damage and to give their drive gauge time to recover, and put us roughly even on drive gauge, really. Damn it! I did the wrong version. If I'd done light spin knuckle, it would have killed. It's my fault. That's my fault. I did the wrong version of spin. Light spin knuckle would have killed. Would have killed that. I missed it. And that's the thing I was talking about earlier, right? Where I was just like, sometimes you just have to accept and admit that it's like, nah, I fucked it up. And that's okay, right? Like, it's not the end of the world. They're doing that to like fake Dragon Lash so that I don't catch it like that. So that's the thing about like doing like heavy Dragon Lash raw like that. Like, if people are awake, they'll catch it. There you go. Ooh, unfortunate for them that they tried to drive rush there. For the first couple of frames of a drive rush, you can't block. So, doing one is a very big commitment at certain distances. They jump there to avoid, like, there we go. Got him.
Cammy wins.
It's okay if you don't want to do another one, try hardly. You can go. It's fine. Sometimes when people do that long pause on the rematch menu, it's either that they're trying to get their thoughts together or they're just gonna go like, nah, fuck it, I'm out. And I get that. I do prefer opponents who like will run the full set, but I also understand that sometimes people just aren't about that life for whatever reason. And I've gotten better about just being like, you know what, do what you feel.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
Little please. Oh yeah. There. Right.
That's fair. Okay, so we're not in an ideal position. Manon has four medals, which basically means that every time that she command, basically every other command grab that she could throw my way now is going to be incredibly scary. Because if I get hit by one, I'm going to eat a shit ton of damage. So now I gotta watch out for either super art spends as anti-airs or like a sneaky CA. I don't know with this person because they haven't presented either option to me, so it's a little difficult to know for sure what they want to do. Dude. Yep, there it is. I could have gotten out of that if I just done like EXDP. Manon's a ballerina who also practices judo, so that's why, and a model. So. The main thing is that Manon, if she doesn't have drive gauge, is not super plus. It's a little harder for her to like engage pressure on you. Oh. On the plus side, I haven't been letting her get a lot of medals. On the minus side, this Manon is comfortable enough with their button ranges. It's a little bit hard to sit on top of them the way I would like. Well, that is maybe only the... I almost never see drive impact clashes like that. That was a surprise to me. That is the second time that's happened tonight, but maybe like only the 7th time I've seen one. I cannot say with any certainty if that number is accurate, but I basically almost never see them. I basically almost never see drive impacts clash like that.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
Oh, for Honda Civic. Okay. I'm surprised they're coming up against the High Master of all things, so, like, you know. Oh. Can he charge? Get the head, man.
It's showtime. Face it straight.
Damn it. I either didn't press both buttons or I didn't do something else. I tried to parry that headbutt and it didn't. And dive parry didn't come out. Yeah, there's probably no way I was gonna run that back though. I tried, but that wasn't happening. Alright. Was he taught? No. Like the whole point of Sumo Spirit is to make it the 100-hand slap, because that its next 100-hand slap does more damage. Like people, okay, let me phrase this more carefully. People do BM in Street Fighter 6, but like if it's like a actual taunts in this game, like the actual, oh yeah, this is like a taunt motion sort of deal, those take way more time than is practical to do to most people in this game. They leave you open for an extremely long amount of time.
Is that all you got? The sweet spot.
That's my own fault. I'm sitting here pressing buttons like a fucking doofus and running into things when I have to throw back to that way. What the fuck? Okay. Sure. So we've got like a don't give a fuck Zangief player. You meet those sometimes, but you know, that shit doesn't work. This is one of those few games that shows how fucking big Zangief really is. Like, I know, like Zangief's huge. Like this man is a wall. This isn't gonna kill.
Locked on. Continuing there.
But it didn't need to.
Cammy,
Just had to put him in. Just had to put him in. Fuck you, I'm snatching you range.
it's showtime. Face it straight.
Siberian Express! I am almighty!
Right, headbutt is. Try to impact headbutt like that. Just doesn't work.
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
Siberian Express! Sora! This will hurt!
Perfect.
This is the other reason why I keep fighting Zangief. Because it's very... The thing about... A lot of what makes people say, oh, grapplers are cheap. I hate fighting grapplers. Grapplers are broken. Is that grapplers... Grapplers have a very specific way of... After this ad is over, we're done. But grapplers have a very specific way of forcing you to adjust your tempo. Because what happens is that when you're too careless, if you just kind of like... With grapplers, right, if you push your, in certain circumstances against the grappler, like, certain types of pushing your advantage are not to your advantage, that's what, right? There we go. Hashed her out.
Get ready, fighters. Triumph or die.
Universal Studios bullshit HP commercials. Yeah, I got hit by that. Yeah, I am on a little later than normal, so I understand that. Go on ahead. Thank you, Callie, for stopping by. I'll catch you later. Go ahead, rest up. I'm almost done too, realistically, because like I've been on way longer than I normally am. But given that I was like napping, I'm like whatever. I don't mind staying a little later. Couldn't have done that. At this rank, like doing raw DI to try to like spook somebody and scare somebody in the corner is don't do that. Not unless you're absolutely sure that you're like in their head. Like you have to be absolutely sure that you are in their brain to make that work. Because most people will be looking for that at this point. Like you have to like have lured them out. No, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to drive reversal. I think pretty much when Ed gets you with like Psycho Snatcher and stuff like that, string thing where he like pulls you in and you're forced to keep blocking. I want to say that basically the way that you deal with that is, especially if he's charged it, is that you have to like you have to drive reversal your way out of it. Or not, I guess. Got your neck. Alright. Yeah, it's about that time. So, thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. We need to go find somebody else to go hang out with. Then, if you're still here, I'd appreciate commercials. But if not, I'll do them in a minute. Love watching your dope streams. I like doing them. So yeah, thank y'all for hanging out. If you want to know more about the indie game studio co-op that I helped co-found, you can go over to munity.games and learn more about us there. You can find our Patreon over there at the free tier and a paid tier, so you can follow us and find out what we're up to. You can play the demo of our first game, Shoot Lancer, over on our itch page. I occasionally do game analysis and design articles over at my NeoCities. My stream VODs are up on my YouTube, so I need to organize them a bit better because it's been a while since I've gone back and organized them. Ko-Fi, you can support me in the stream there if you don't want to give money to Amazon or Jeff Bezos. My phone, you can use for anonymous gift giving, though while we are doing charity fundraising to write love on our arms, I think you don't get anything off my phone. The card has all my social media links on. And then last but not least, of course, we have Gilded. If you want to hang out with us when we're not online, if you don't mind making a Roblox account that you never have to use for anything else, you can join us over on Gilded. I talk about stuff that I don't normally talk about on stream over in Gilded. A lot of the features that Discord charges for, Gilded doesn't. it has its own foibles. So I also understand if you're like Roblox account, you don't make me do that. I understand that. It's never mandatory. It's just kind of there as an option if it is what it fits what you feel like. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. It is time for us to go find somebody to go hang out with. Stream schedule. Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time is more Tales of Vesperia E. Please tune in for that if you can. And then next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time is more Shootlands Development. You know, I never get to do this. So this time, I'm going to do a reverse raid. Because almost every other time that this happens, I never get to raid. We're going to raid Jasmine still, who raids us a lot, usually on like Sundays and stuff. Currently, it looks like she's playing Umineko When They Cry in the question arcs. It's a visual novel that is also a mystery novel that's also really weird, but in a good way. If those are your thing, you'll enjoy this. So here's your raid message. SJ says raids. Throw in your favorite emotes. They don't have to be my emotes. Whatever emotes you feel like. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. If you go outside, be excellent to each other. We're not the bigots, racist, terrorists, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Reproductive rights are human rights. None of us are equal or all free. So Palestine, Sudan, the Congo. Do what you can to support whoever you can in your neighborhoods or around. That's the important part. Pretty much all we can. Alright, y'all. Let's go past Jasmine Street. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Here. Deuces.